Welcome back to Earnings Digest, your quick breakdown of what's up in the economy and the stock market.
You bet.
Today, we're going to do a deep dive
Okay.
on BRICS Pay.
All right.
Have you heard of this?
Oh, yeah. BRICS Pay is making some waves.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. So it's
So
basically...
it's this potential game changer, right?
Yeah.
It could really shake up the global financial system as we know it.
Yeah, so let's break this down for our listeners. BRICS, first of all, is...
Okay. So BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
a group of major emerging economies.
Exactly. And they're kind of banding together.
Yeah.
With this idea that they want to challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar
Yeah.
in a global trade.
For international transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to create this. So BRICS Pay is like their attempt to create their own version
It's
of...
like their own SWIFT system,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is what banks use now to kind of make international transfers and things. And so they're trying to come up with a system that's outside of that. That's
Yeah, that's not reliant on the dollar.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So how would this work?
Well, the idea is to leverage blockchain technology.
Okay.
Much like cryptocurrencies,
Oh, interesting.
where you've got this secure,
Okay.
decentralized,
Secure,
and transparent way
transparent.
to manage these transactions. So theoretically, it could be a lot faster, a lot cheaper,
Okay.
potentially, and just more efficient than what we have now.
But why should the average person like me who invests in the stock market even care about this?
Okay, so think about it this way. If you're investing in these emerging markets,
Okay.
right? Brazil, Russia, India, China.
Right.
You're currently subject to the fluctuations of the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So if the dollar goes up, your investments could be worth less.
Yeah.
So what this would do is it would create a system where you're no longer as exposed to that
Gotcha.
volatility.
Yeah.
So it could potentially protect your investments.
Okay, and I know a big part of this is the New Development Bank, or the NDB.
Right.
How does that factor into this whole BRICS Pay picture?
Yeah. So the New Development Bank it was founded by the BRICS nations,
Right.
specifically to fund development projects
Live in the bloc.
within their countries.
Yeah.
Right. And so they see this bank as a way to kind of help build the infrastructure
I see.
for this new payment system.
Okay.
Right. They can help develop the technology. They can provide the financing to get it all up and running.
Yeah.
And it really shows that they're serious about this.
And it seems like it kind of lessens their reliance on like Western-dominated financial institutions.
Absolutely. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
They want to be more independent. They want to have more control
Yeah.
over their own financial destinies.
So this is not just some like theoretical discussion, right? I mean, Putin at the recent BRICS summit was a big proponent of this
Yeah.
and really pushing for a common BRICS digital currency.
He was really advocating for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shows that this isn't just talk,
Yeah.
right? There's actually taking steps to make this a reality.
But I mean, this all sounds really ambitious, and I'm wondering,
Yeah,
there has to be some kind of challenges here,
of course.
right? Like, are there any big hurdles?
Well, first of all, you've got 5 different countries
Yeah.
with 5 different economies,
Okay.
5 different political systems.
Right.
So getting them all on the same page
Yeah.
and agreeing on how this is all going to work.
I see.
That's a big challenge. You've also got the geopolitical situation, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
complicated, to say the least.
Yeah.
You've got Russia
Yeah.
in the midst of this conflict.
Yeah.
You've got China and the U.S. kind of vying for global influence.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of external factors
Okay.
that could make this difficult to pull off.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, even if they do manage to get over those hurdles and overcome those challenges, doesn't creating essentially a separate financial system from the rest of the world, could that, like, backfire?
Well, there is a risk of fragmentation.
Right.
Right, you could end up with multiple payment platforms,
Right.
which could make things more complicated
Yeah.
for everyone.
And potentially unstable.
And potentially, lead to some instability. So those are definitely things to watch out for.
Okay, so a lot of challenges. But if they do pull this off, what could be the potential upside?
Okay, so if they can make this work, This could be a really big deal.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, it could lead to more stable trade
Within the bloc.
within the bloc,
Okay.
right? Because they're no longer subject to those currency fluctuations.
Yeah.
It could also shift global financial power
Really?
away from the U.S.
Wow.
and towards these emerging economies.
I see.
And it could also lead to just a greater use of alternative currencies. Okay.
And international trade. So we could see a real diversification
Yeah,
of the global financial system.
that's fascinating.
If.
Right.
But if they pull it off, it could have some major implications.
Wow, this has been so insightful. So for our listeners who are trying to stay ahead of the curve, what should they be paying attention to
Okay.
as this story develops?
First of all, keep an eye on the new development bank.
Okay.
See how they're supporting this initiative.
Okay.
See what kind of projects they're funding.
Got it.
Also look for any announcements
Okay.
about pilot programs or maybe even the launch of a digital currency.
Oh, okay.
Right. If they start testing this out in the real world,
Right.
that'll be a big sign that they're serious.
Yeah.
And then just in general, just kind of keep track of how this is impacting global finance.
Okay.
Right. Is it leading to more diversification? Is it leading to more instability? Pay attention to those trends.
Well, it definitely sounds like things are about to get interesting. Oh, absolutely.
It'll be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for breaking this all down for us.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, stay informed, keep an eye on the BRICS nations, and we'll be back next time with another deep dive
See you then.
into the world of earnings and the economy.